Time. Cool.
All right. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing and many salutations unto you elect across the four winds of this earth, fulfilling your lots in all truth and all sincerity, which the majority does consist of those that you all see on this sign here. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Israelites the Bible speaks of. You're the ones that crossed the Red Sea with Moses. It ain't those people that are over there in the land right now with the small hats and such that get any type of benefit known to man. In the last days, it would be obvious who the Israelites are, especially when you look at the plight of the Israelites. When you go into the scriptures, and when you build up your understanding about the Bible and really want to learn about the Bible, you find out the true intentions of the Heavenly Father and why he sent his son, Yahweh Shai, down here for his people. All right, and in the last days, the Israelites would be woken up out of their sleep. Not all of them, of course, but the name of Israel will be remembered, because there was a period of time in history where you had all the heathen that wanted to block us off from us knowing who we are, and more importantly, knowing the God that we serve. That's why our enemies were willing to spend top-tier dollars to keep this information hid from you. All right? But as I said earlier, one thing to look at out of many things to look at to really go into who the Israelites are, the Lord said there was going to be a particular stigma that was going to be upon you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, or upon the Israelites, I'd rather say. And again, as I stated earlier, when you look at the plight of the Israelites in the Bible, how we were constantly going into slavery, constantly rebelling against the Lord, constantly being involved in acts that they had no business being involved in. The only people here today that fits that criteria more than any other people on the earth are the people that you see here on this sign. And again, yeah, we know we're scattered among the heathen too. So you do have Israelites that might look like Elam, that might look like Ham, and so forth. But there's a spirit that's within them that is the spirit of an Israelite. Okay? You got a precept?
Yeah, just real quick, just the book of Deuteronomy 28, 46. This is going into the curses. When you read the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, from verse 1 to verse 14, it goes into the blessings that shall befall the nation of Israel. But from verse 15 down to verse 68, it goes into the curses. All right, and that's predominantly what you see upon the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans today. But I wanted to grab this precept because it backs up that point that you made. Deuteronomy 28 and 46. It says, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Right, so the curses, all the things that are listed from the precept that I said, Deuteronomy 28, verse 15 to 16, on down, all right, those things will be upon the true nation of Israel, all right, for signs and for wonders. It says, upon thy seed forever.
Right.
You see?
God. So as we're going into this here, that's why the Heavenly Father has us sent out here. He has us sent out here to actually preach his true intentions on the highways and the hedges. And also to let you all know that the kingdom of heaven, which is the new kingdom of Israel, is going to be established on the planet Earth. That's why our Lord Yahweh Shai made mention, when you read it in the book of Matthew, the 10th chapter, he says to go into the world and to preach the kingdom of heaven is at hand. All right, and part of that preaching the kingdom of heaven is being at hand is pretty much a conglomerate of tons of prophecies to talk about teaching, edification, uplifting. But the Lord sent us out here to declare these things because the terrible day of the Lord is right around the corner. I mean, you can clearly see it. You can smell it in the atmosphere. If you don't want to believe it within yourself, you can smell it in the atmosphere, and you can very well tell that we're at the end of the known world. Okay? Every great kingdom had its beginning and had its end. The Babylonians had their beginning, had their end, and that's documented in the scriptures, and it's listed in prophecy. The Persians, and the Medes, they had their time. A lot of people don't know about the history of the Persians and the Medes. Okay? A lot of the things that you're able to do, a lot of plumbing, a lot of maintenance ideas really stem from the empire of the Persians and the Medes. So a lot of the daily dainties and necessities that you use today really stem from around that empire. Okay? And then you got the Greeks. Now you can't really find too much history on the Greeks when you read the Bible, because that is valuable history that has been taken out of the Bible. But we have the Maccabees, and the interesting part about the Greeks being in power, that's when the so-called white man began to rule on the planet Earth under the Greeks. Okay?
That's what they say too. They say civilization started with the Greeks.
That's right. They'll say civilization started with the Greeks, when that's nothing more than them just saying the world hasn't been civilized until white folk got in power. But case in point, you got way more history before that about cultures that had nothing to do with being an Edomite, and pretty much, I explained it earlier, going into the Persians and the Medes. Just by their influence, you have a maintenance plumbing system right now. And there's more examples on top of that, so we have more than enough proof to show forth that everything has been running way before the so-called white man got into the power seat. All right, but you have that part of history going into the Greeks that was taken out of the Bible. Because when you go into the Greek Empire, that's when the world became what is called Hellenized, including the Israelites under the rule of Antiochus Epiphanes, where we even started calling ourselves Greek. So then you go into the next empire afterwards, which are the Romans. And you find certain letters by the Apostle Paul and by different men that goes into the Jew first and the Greek. And a lot of people don't have understanding on what that means, because you don't understand the history on how the world got Hellenized and how everybody, even including the people on this sign, the actual Israelites, became Greek. All right? And that was a very key part of history that nobody talks about, but it's documented. Okay? So then you have the fourth beast, which is at the end of the 7th chapter, the Roman Empire. And we're still living in an extension of the Roman Empire right now. We're really on the last leg of that empire when our Lord is getting ready to come back and judge this place. Okay? Now, what we want to do is talk about this for a little bit, because again, as you went into earlier, bro, how we have different signs and such, okay, that pretty much that we follow, or signs that follow us, I'd rather say, due to the curses and the blessings that show forth who we are as a people. Well, the Lord said in the last days, when you read it in 2 Ezra 9, matter of fact, can you get that, bro? That's the Spirit. We can get that really quick, because the Lord is going to put an amount of prophecies. Well, he got them in the Bible, of course, but I'd rather say it like this. The Lord is going to declare his prophecies by the mouth of his prophets. But there's also things and events that are happening on the earth that those of us that are being believers can look at and be able to clearly tell that we're at the end. Okay? So let's pull that out real quick. Measure out the time. Okay. Yeah, read down to verse 4.
This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Now, when you go into the word measure, he said, measure thou the time diligently within itself. Excuse me, brother. But that goes into count, or take heed to, or weigh in the balance. So he's saying, look, you're going to count the days. When I say count the days, you're going to look at what's going on in the earth, and you got the Spirit of the Lord on you. You're going to be able to equate a lot of these events to biblical prophecies. That way we can see clearly that it is a time where the Lord is going to visit the earth. Now, we obviously know that no man knows the hour nor the day. All right? No man knows the hour nor the day. Not one of us. Even our Lord, who the world calls Jesus Christ, doesn't know, whose real name is Yahweh Shai. Only the Father knows this. But he's put prophecies, Isaiah 46. He's put prophecies within the Bible, all right? And in the last days, he's allowing those prophecies to unfold. And he sent men, teachers, out here to declare these prophecies to you, to let you know, look, this is what the Bible said. Look, this is what's happening right now, just as the Bible said, all right? And that goes into a topic that I want to talk about after the brother brings this verse out, because you got all these train derailments happening still to this day. You had that train derailment that took place out there in Palestine, Ohio a month ago. But a lot of people don't know that there's been train derailments every day. Chemical plants exploding every day. Seeping out very toxic chemicals. Being put in the water that you drink. All right? Being inhaled by the different cattle and food that we eat. All right? And it's ultimately going to lead to a lot more sicknesses. And that's on top of many things that's happening on the earth right now. That's prescribed within the Holy Bible. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 46.
Isaiah 24 out.
Okay. This is the book of Isaiah 46, verse 9 and 10. Remember the former things of old, for I am God.
Remember the former things of old. What is he talking about? The words that he said, the acts that he had done. All right, you read it in the book of Habakkuk, where the prophet Habakkuk is asking the Lord in a prayer to revive the work as in the midst of the years, meaning to make thyself known like you did back in the days of our fathers. Because you got a lot of people that walk around that claim to believe in God, that claim to believe, but they live their lives completely contrary. And the reason why is because they have not been visited by the God of Israel. All right? They ain't seen no Red Sea get split in half. They ain't seen the sun stand still. They ain't seen hail and fire fall down from heaven and consume armies of people. They haven't seen many of these different things. But these are things that had happened in the past, and these are things that will surely come to pass here in the last days. Right. The Lord is making himself known, but it's going to start with his word coming out. All right? He's going to bring his word out first, and then the action's going to follow afterwards. And really, honestly, look at the events that are happening on earth. These are new things. People aren't used to experiencing what they're experiencing right now. Train derailments. You know, you still got all them boats on the coast out there, not even in just California, but on all these different coasts. You still got a plethora of ships that are out there just sitting there for almost 3 years straight. People don't know that you're still living off a backup supply of rations. And what are you going to do when that stuff ends? These are all things that are going to happen here, and they're already happening, I'd rather say. But you're going to have more things, or a domino effect that's going to take place, where a lot of people are going to really be touched and really experience plagues of biblical proportion. Okay? And it's in the Bible. We're out here telling you. Go ahead.
It's back in the book of Isaiah 46 and 9. Remember the former things of old, for I am God, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me. Declaring the end from the beginning.
There you go. To declare means to speak. All right? It means to speak. So to speak on things from the beginning at the very end. Read that part again.
Back in Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning.
Declaring the end from the beginning. All right? So the Lord already said the things that were going to happen at the very end. He gave you a compilation of different signs and works and wonders that he was going to bring upon the face of the earth in the last days before it actually happened. All right? And now these things are happening, and he sent men out here to tell you, but it's already written that only a small remnant was going to be able to receive the word of our testimony anyway. That's in Revelation, the 11th chapter, going into how we were delivered by our testimony, but it goes into a remnant and how only a small number will receive it. All right? And it's clearly and it's obvious. I mean, look at what happened in the days of Noah. You know, it was only 8 souls that were saved, including Noah. And the only reason why his family got saved was due to the words of his testimony. So you add millions and millions and millions of people that died. Old men, old women, children. The Lord didn't give a dang about who you were, how old you were, and what creed that you was involved in. If you didn't want to take heed to the word of his messenger, his prophet, he didn't give a dang about your outcome. And it's obvious, because again, millions and millions of people died. How much more can you apply to the last days, especially since it's likened to the days of Noah? So just as you had Noah that was likened to a small remnant, that's also written up in the Apocrypha, you have the Lord's elect that's out here, and they're declaring the things that the Lord spoke in the last end. All right? That's why the Apostle Paul said it in Romans 11, for it is high time to awake out of sleep, for your salvation draweth nearer than even ye believed. So we're a clear sign and indicator, and we're not boasting in ourselves. Forget this flesh that we're in, but the simple fact the Lord put his spirit upon us to be filled with, how can I put this, utterance to speak these things. All right, that's a sign within itself to show you the time that we're in right now, on top of the events that are happening. Hey, it's okay, we're preaching the Bible right now. Okay? Go ahead, bring that out, Baba Kashaw.
The book of Isaiah 46 and 10 again, it says, declaring the end from the beginning.
What did she say? I think all kind of Bible study website.
Isaiah 46 and 10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
And that's also how you know that the word of the Lord is true. All right? Based on the prophecies that were written and how these prophecies are coming to pass. You can't find these prophecies in the Quran. You can't find these in no other type of indoctrination or doctrine, I'd rather say, that any of these cultures want to study, and that they have as a source of spirituality or spiritual enlightenment. What makes the Bible so much separate, all right, versus everything else is the fact that everything that's written of is coming to pass. All right, that's why you read it in, where is that written of? In Isaiah, the 34th chapter, the 16th verse. We don't got to get it, but it says to seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. It said, none shall fail, and it shall not want or make. All right, and what that's talking about is none of these prophecies are going to fail. Everything that was written of is going to surely come to pass. And you can't compare any form of doctrine compared to the Bible, because the Bible's alive. These prophecies are coming to pass. Again, you ain't going to find none of these in the Quran, bro. The Quran does not go until Yahweh Shai and the angels coming down and redeeming the elect and judging this place. Okay, no, there's other form of philosophy that's out here. Because you got people that are out here that'll be like, well, you know, there's other cultures that'll know that there was a great flood. You ever heard about the writings of Gilgamesh? Or the writings of who the fuck ever? But the thing about it is, what about the end though? Because none of those manuscripts goes into the events that was going to happen in the end. Only the Bible goes into that, which is more than enough proof to show that this book is true, or the words in this book is true.
That's right.
Yeah, let's jump back to that right now.
It's back in the book.
Hey, it's supposed to be a windy day. I was looking on the news. I think. I saw good.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, that's spirit, yeah.
God, but it was projected on the news to be ridiculously windy.
Yeah, I seen that.
It's back in the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 9. I'm going to read it, verse 2 again. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
There you go. So he's visiting the world which he made, and again, he's doing that by diverse signs and wonders.
That's right.
That's tied to his glory.
That's right.
So the Lord is definitely and clearly revealing his face upon the earth right now, but it's going to come to the point where things are going to intensify.
That's right.
All right, where those ancient works that the prophets seen, that our fathers seen, are being revived. All right, even King David said it. He asked the Lord to, how did he word it? He said, now it is time for thee, O Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. You know, so right now we're entering into the phase of prophecy where the Lord is working.
Yeah.
And he's working like he worked back in the ancient world. Even in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, when you read it, it goes into how the Lord was going to punish Egypt like he did in the ancient years.
That's right.
So what do you think that means? That means that he's visiting the earth and reviving his work like he did before.
Yeah.
You know? But circling back around, because I know you still got that Isaiah 24 held, right? Because that was pretty much the point on that one. I believe that was it on 2nd Ezra 9.
I don't know if you want it verse 4.
Oh, read verse 4. You can break it down, bro.
God. Well, no, matter of fact, verse 3 and 4. We just read the first two verses. This back in the book of 2nd Ezra 9, verse 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes
I think we're good
and
now, bro.
uproars
I mean,
of
I
the
guess
people in the world,
yeah,
which we're
I can-
seeing that
I'll
at a
just keep
very
my foot on
high
it.
level, man.
You know, when it start, you know, it's
we're
up to
seeing
you.
earthquakes and uproars of the people all around the world at a very high level, man. All right, the magnitude of these earthquakes is increasing. All right, the different locations in which these, not even just earthquakes, you got tornadoes, you got different tsunamis and different you know, weather events that are taking place that are, you know, pretty much showing forth that we're in those times. And also the uproars of the people, man.
That's right.
Riots in, what is it, France? France is like riot central, man.
Oh yeah.
The people are protesting out there in France for some time now, man. You know what I'm saying? South America is going down. All over the world, really. Everywhere except, really, for America, Babylon the Great.
France always trying to riot and, you know, have a revolution and shit.
Well, hell, you got them small hats over there taken to the streets by what's that Ben Nehu, whoever that political
Netanyahu? Netanyahu, yeah.
You had hundreds of thousands of them over there taken to the streets. You know, so hey, if you'd have chosen, why would you need to take that type of measure?
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. And this also just to land back on what the priests are going into. Look at North Korea. They getting more bolder and bolder by each test.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They always flexing on some type of missile they're gonna send to America. But it's gonna come to the point where eventually it's not gonna be the talk. But they're gonna do it.
Yeah. And then what's that? The BRICS, if I'm not mistaken, is coming back up. I believe that's a new clip with BRICS, and that acronym stands for what? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. If I'm not mistaken.
Which is gonna lead to a lot more nations being allied with them, as it's written in Ezekiel 38.
Yeah. Yeah. And they all what? They're all looking to dump the dollar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the alluding to the Revelation 17. Hey, yeah, they should hate the whore, man. This is the whore, man. This is clearly the whore, and you know, like me and one of the brothers always joke, hey, the buck stops here, man. Because as soon as the more and more the dollar becomes devalued, and as you can all see, look at the interest rate. Look at the interest hikes, man.
Yep.
You want some scrambled eggs, but you're gonna have to come off 10 or 15 bucks, man. Look at rent. People are about to get back to the gas pump as well to make them life decisions again. I noticed that too. I know you brothers noticed. It's back to what, the 330 now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know premium is definitely. Bro, careless ass people, bro. We grown. We don't know what type of people that we are. We could be crazy. Goodness gracious, man. But it's another album what I was going to add to that too, because just here in Dallas recently, on I-30, you had a truck that got into an accident that was holding thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of chicken, which is chicken that's meant to be dispersed throughout these different stores that are here. You know, so it ain't no coincidence that all these train derailments are happening, all these events are happening on the earth.
That's right.
They're all prescribed within the scriptures, man. And what I was going to mention, as we got that Isaiah 24, oh no, I said I'd read it. It's all good, I can read it.
I got you, brother.
But with these derailments that's taking place, you got a lot of land that's become a lot more polluted. I was watching Dabu 7's video just yesterday, going into out there in Palestine, Ohio. When that's just an example, you got plenty of other places that have been polluted with all these chemical plant issues. Philly. But in Palestine, Ohio, when you go into testing the soil, they tested it and they're saying it and declaring it openly that the soil is over 100 times above the safe limit.
Right.
So how much do you apply to water?
Yeah.
Because this is water this is chemicals that went into the Ohio River.
That's right.
Which flows, goes into the Mississippi River and such, which flows. So what do you think is going to happen with that? A domino effect of sicknesses. Look at all the people that are sick right now.
That's right.
Guarantee you, a lot of it has to do with this dang pollution that's out here with these chemicals.
That's right.
That's put out here. You know?
And if I may, interestingly enough, hey, what the hell happened to Flint? They had all type of lead in their water. What happened to Flint, man?
Well, that's a good point, because now since it's happening to everybody else, nobody gives a damn about, nobody cared when it was Flint, but now when it's these places where these Edomites are at, now it's a problem. Now we got to fix it.
Yeah.
It's a lot here.
No, hey, and honestly, that's what makes Dave Chappelle's comedy so hilarious, bro. Because it becomes a crime and riddled with heinous acts when drugs get into the Jake neighborhoods. But when it comes to these Edomites, it's all fitting, all laced, and we got to do something about it. Just like the priest mentioned, now it's happening to these Edomites and the people who were once part of the middle class. Now it's problematic. But no one was giving a shit when those Jakes and Flint was drinking that filthy ass water.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, hey, that reminds me of the curses now being put on them. I do got a quick precept real quick. And this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 21. And it says, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I, because Israel at the end of the day, even though you got wicked niggas out there in Flint and so forth, but Israelites are still the chosen people of the Lord. Just the mass of them are going to die off, but they're going to be good in the kingdom. But they're still the Lord's chosen. So it says, like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also in recompense, in recompense in their bosom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh.
And what? A false balance is an abomination to the Most High.
That's right. So everybody gets it.
What's the song go? Everybody plays the fool sometime. Hey, everybody, bro. Everybody's been in captivity. Hey,
Shalom, brother. Shalom.
Everybody's been in captivity. Everybody's ruled. But there's only been one chosen, man.
Right.
And that's Yasharala, Prince of the Power.
That's right.
Hey, we done got our ass whooped. And now everybody else is supposed to be under subjection unto Yasharala, man. When Yahweh Shah HaMashiach returns, man.
That's right. Started being under, just to add to that beautiful point, started being under the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His Son, Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
You know, because you got a lot of people that tend to forget that we're able to do what we do and know what we know through Yahweh Shai's sacrifice. You know, Yahweh Shai is not preached enough in the world of Israel.
Yeah.
You know, but He is the common reason, the main reason why we're able to do what we do and why we know what we know and why we're going to be delivered.
That's right.
You know, and He's also the binding reason of why these events are happening on the earth.
That's right.
Because power and judgment has been given into the hands of the Son.
That's right.
Let's get that in Isaiah 24, Baba Kishar. Let's start from the top. Yeah, Baba Kishar, bro.
Yeah.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 1. It says, Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty and maketh it waste.
Right, and what is that going into? How He's allowing the earth to lose its potency as it had before.
Yeah.
You know, I got another precept I'm going to go out in a second, but 2 Ezra 5 comes to mind.
Yeah.
Going into how the earth is not in the same strength that it had in the very beginning. And you can clearly see it. You can't even drink water out of a well no more, man. You try to go out there to a pond and drink some water, man. You go ahead and try that. pH level of -5.
Yeah.
Shoot, when you coming down 30, when you coming from West, dropping down 30, you know when you enter into Dallas by that smell.
That's right.
You know what I'm talking about, that funky ass smell, that rotten egg smell.
Yeah.
Because of that water, that body of water that you pass over.
That's right.
That shows that you're entering into Dallas. You going to try to go over to that pond and drink out of that water and see your outcome.
It's gonna be either that water or it's gonna be a wood supply spot. That funky, like, you know, that
That too.
Yeah. Yep.
That too, the earth ain't supposed to stink.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, of course, granted, you had certain areas in the ancient world that was set aside to burn trash and do particular things, but now they just do it everywhere, man.
Right.
You go out here, especially out here in Dallas, trash all over the place. Walk down that alley right over there, man, and tell me you won't gag walking down that thing. This is the state of the earth that we're in right now, man. This earth is meant to be beautiful, meant to be for us to inhabit and rule in, but due to the hands of the Lord setting up the wicked here, it ain't nothing but death that's thriving. That's why in Job 9:25 it says, well, 9:24 goes into the earth being in the hands of the wicked, but the following verse, he makes mention, now are my days swifter than a post, meaning life expectancy is cut way more shorter, man. I was going to say really quick, and I was having a conversation, I forgot who I was talking to, but they mentioned that the new middle age, you know how they'll say when you're in your 40s, you're middle age? Pretty much now when you turn 30, you become middle age. And it makes sense, bro. When you 30, especially when you 30, the way your body starts failing you, people start to make little memes and jokes, you know, when they walk to the cabinet when they 30, and they put the Do You Remember song because you start forgetting shit. You got it, Kadar. You gonna say something.
You made a good point. Like, bro, you still in your prime, bro, in your 30s. And to be quite honest, particular men, even in their 40s, man.
Yeah, straight up.
And it's only due to the curses. The life expectancy under what?
Genesis 6 chapter.
Yeah.
Well, that 120 years. Well, yeah. Okay.
Well, I'm
No, that 120 is going into the amount of years Noah was prophesying.
Yeah. So
That's what that's talking about.
Yeah, and then also it's is it in Psalms or Proverbs, the 80 years?
It's in Psalms.
Psalms.
That's
yeah.
a Psalm of Moses.
Yeah,
actually.
chapter 90, right?
Yeah. 90 or 91. One of them two.
Yeah.
No, it's not 91. It's got to be 90.
90.
Because 91 is going into the prayer.
I think it's 90 and 10 if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Well, we can get it real quick to validate it. I'll read it.
If I'm not mistaken.
God.
Yeah.
This is the book of Psalms 90. That wind is blowing hard.
It is.
It's all good.
Shit.
Bro. Yeah, you were right, Kadar.
90-10. Okay.
This is Psalms chapter 90, verse 10. It says, I'm going to start at verse 9, actually.
Okay, fine, sure.
And it says, for all our days are passed away in thy wrath, We spend our years as a tale that is told. The days. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that made me think of the curse that your enemy shall be the head and you shall be the tail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's right.
Time, bro.
Yeah, we what? We subject under payments.
Yeah.
Always sick, bro. We at the. This is the worst we've ever been, but still at our lowest.
Yeah.
We still got it, but you know here we don't got it. We
Hey,
through.
even in slavery, we lived to be high, even though we was getting jacked up.
Yeah.
We still lived to be at old ages, and if we was able to, I'm talking
Yeah.
about by naturally.
Yeah.
Obviously, we was getting our back beaten. A lot of
Yeah.
Jake did die
Yeah.
in slavery physically,
That's right.
but you know we still were able-bodied.
Yep.
We still were in shape. There wasn't no fat-ass slave just running around unless you was just a house nigga
Yeah.
that was fed very well.
Yeah.
But when it came to a slave, you wasn't just obese and overweight and had bad, we had
Yeah.
bad diet because they was feeding us chitlins and stuff.
Yeah.
But naturally, we were still able-bodied to a degree because we was out there in that field.
Yeah.
Jake was in shape. But you look at it today, you don't got the physical shackles on you,
Yeah.
none of that stuff. But the shackles now are the different vices that I put out here that you subdue yourself in. You know?
That's right.
And then you got the fucking obesity at an all-time high.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the black woman, there's a stigma put on her when she gets up in age. She starts getting that bad diet, being like Big Mama.
Yeah.
You know, it always starts with them big ass elbows, man.
Yeah.
I tell you what, with that little smiley face
Yeah.
indent on that motherfucker,
Yeah.
you know, it always starts with that. But back in the day, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I was Salaka Kadar.
I agree.
I was gonna say real quick, I randomly just pulled up women in the 70s.
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to actually just see.
That's right.
If you type in women in the 70s on Google and go to the images, you ain't gonna see not one overweight picture.
That's right.
Not one. And that's in the 70s, not even in the 40s and the
Yeah.
50s.
Even if you look up, for those who are older, I know the particular apostles and elders remember Della Reese, Eve who played in Harlem Nights, said, "Oh, you gonna shoot me in my pinky toe?" The one Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
pinky
yeah,
toe.
yep.
Bro, when she was a young woman, gorgeous, thin as hell, probably wasn't even over 130, bro.
Yep.
Gorgeous, bro. Because even if you look up now, you got an older Eve. She's damn near 80. Y'all man, I'm talking about. She's a bodybuilder. She got
I know who you're talking about.
She got the salt and pepper, beautiful older Eve, man. Honestly, you know, our women's supposed to be looking like that as an age.
Right,
And then it's
absolutely.
another one who's a vegan chef in her 70s, beautiful.
Bro, look at Moses.
Yeah,
Moses was 80 years old when he was approached by the Lord in Sinai.
exactly.
When he talked to the burning bush,
Yep.
chasing after that lost sheep
Yeah.
that straggled away by the end of Mount
Yeah.
Sinai.
Yep.
You know, remember he went out there because he was leading the sheep and one went away and he had to get it.
Yeah.
He was 80, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you let an 80-year-old man be out there in that hot-ass weather now. They'll be through. Let a 20-year-old man
Yeah.
be out there. It's a
Yeah.
wrap, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it shows you how hot it was because when he saw that burning bush, he wasn't even tripping at first because that was a natural thing because of the amount of heat.
That's right.
What tripped him out of what got his attention was the fact that it wasn't burning.
Yeah.
It was on fire, but it didn't burn.
Yeah.
That's what caught his attention.
That's right.
But he seen it burning and he didn't really acknowledge it at first.
Yeah.
But this was an 80-year-old man
Yeah.
out there in this desert leading sheep.
Yeah.
You know, you try that now. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
25 and you can't even walk 10,000 steps.
Young bro, I'm sitting there hooping about 2 or 3 weeks ago. This the car, bro, thin as hell. I'm tired, bro. I was like, you clearly ain't over 19.
Right.
I just got through lifting, bro. Came and hoop. You ain't tired, bro? No, bro, I'm not. Hey, that was a person though. It was Issachar.
Yeah.
Oh, you doing
God. This is back in the book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 10. It says, the days of our years are 60 years and 10, which is 80.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, 70,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Yeah.
A score is 20.
Yeah.
So when you do 3 score, that's 20 times 3, which is 60.
Yeah.
And it says and 10, meaning plus 10.
Yeah.
So it says, the days of our years are 60 and 10, and if by reason of strength.
Yeah.
So if you are a little bit more naturally stronger
Yeah.
than the common person, it says, by reason of strength, they be 80 years. So that's the 80.
Yeah. That's why you got guys like, even though he took the jab and passed away, Hank Aaron, one of the all-time, one of the greatest baseball players to ever touch the mound.
Right, that's right.
Then along with who just recently passed, Bill Russell. You know,
Another one,
you
yeah.
know, they was a freak of nature in that heyday.
Bro, look at homeboy that just died 2 weeks ago. That was on he was on John Wick. He was on quite a bit of movies. I forgot his name. Dude, glasses, black dude, bald head.
Oh yeah,
I forgot his name. He was on that Resident Evil show that came out recently. He just died.
He just passed.
And he wasn't even old. He was probably my father's age.
Yeah. And you got guys like Kareem. Kareem has illness, but everybody know Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in his prime was a freak of nature along with Bill Russell.
Absolutely.
So it just further proves with Jake, when even though we in captivity, when Jake is like usually stronger than the average Joe. Look at Kareem, bro. You can tell, side ain't all there, kind of moving funny, but everybody know in his heyday, he's a freak of nature, man.
Yeah.
So.
But no, I'm sorry.
No.
You go ahead.
Well, because as you get older here, you becoming more depleted. Your bones are grinding against each other like working brake pads. You know what I'm saying? And once you no longer have agility, you start breaking down. All this so-called organic options that they have, man. Those are all trash.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
Well, just to add to that too, because those are men that in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and was thriving, and they're still alive today.
Yeah.
But you look at those men like now, like Anthony Davis, for example.
Yeah.
Bro, tall as hell, young as hell, always hurt every other week. And there's numerous other examples that are out here too. So, just to add to the point, it's like if you do find somebody that's able-bodied and willing to do what they got to do, it's more so like a rarity, like a phenomenon based on what the fuck they're putting out here in the atmosphere.
That's why everybody looking at LeBron James and Tom Brady so crazy, and also Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah, no, B-Hop, that dude was a prototype right there.
Yeah,
dude was 48 years old, still professionally boxing.
Tom Brady's out here winning Super Bowls in his 40s.
In his 40s.
Your prime time is your Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes ain't even 25 yet, correct?
Yeah, he's still a young man. He's still entering into his prime.
Yeah. We got guys who just got through playing for national championships. Tom Brady in his 21st year winning Super Bowls, bro.
Yeah, look at Zion.
Yeah. Another prime
Zion's
example.
another prime example.
Yeah.
Somebody young, able-bodied, jumping out the gym.
Yeah.
But let him jump too damn loud. Too damn high.
Yeah.
Land and Jack was ankle messed up right now.
Right.
I forgot. I think it's his ankle or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these are just examples going into how we're not the same as we was back then.
That's right.
We're not the same.
And
You don't got it like how you used to.
And
This-
I was
going to say, this was written by Moses.
Right.
This is a psalm of Moses right here. In Psalms 90, it says, a prayer of Moses, the man of the Most High.
That's right.
So even in the days of Moses, it said that, look, even a man at his greatest strength is only going to live pretty much till about 80.
Yeah.
Now, we know there were exceptions after that did live a little bit longer.
Right.
But those that was living 110, 120, 130 were before him.
That's right.
Abraham, Joseph, Jacob, they lived to be up in that age. Moses, he lived to be 120 years old.
Yeah.
But you don't read about guys being that old too much in the Bible after that.
Mm-mm.
This was the Psalm of Moses here. So how much do you apply? Matter of fact, really quick, Baba Kashaw, can somebody hold 2nd Ezra, the 14th chapter? Baba Kashaw, I know you was going to bring up a point still too, Padar.
Oh yeah, no, since you mentioned that, John the Revelator, passed that 90, right?
Well, we don't know really the age, though they'll say he was approximately around between 90 and 99 when he received that revelation.
Yeah.
So we don't really know exactly how old he was, but he was another exception
Yeah.
that was up there a little longer, that lived longer. That way we'll have what we have today.
Yeah. And that was just laying back and off your example. Like you said, you can see other men throughout the scriptures living that long.
Absolutely.
They either they either fell ill, or of course you're gonna get called one way or the other from the Most High.
That's right.
But it just coincides with how the priests keep breaking it down.
Going into the herb divided into
Because right here, we're about to read the prophet Ezra, who really is the angel Uriel. He's giving you a breakdown on the times that we're in currently right now. We see it. Because we just went into a conglomerate of different signs and works that's out here to show that we're in the end. We talked about the earth briefly, which we're going to touch back on, Lord willing, if the Lord permits it. But now we're going into the being of a person. You can't even be at full strength. You got people that are in their late 20s, 30s with heart issues, man. There's somebody I work with that's damn near my age that just suffered from a stroke. Now, it's probably juice related.
Yeah.
I'll say that. But even before the juice came into the equation, you had people that were just jacked up.
Yeah.
But the scripture shows us why. And I can backdoor this one with 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter.
God, yeah, I was holding that too.
Okay. Oh, cool. Well, you got it held. Let them fly.
God, this is the book of 2nd Ezra 4, and I'm gonna start at verse 3.
Verse 3.
Verse 3.
Go whatever.
Okay.
Started around like verse 3, if I'm not mistaken.
The point of the 12 parts is like verse 11.
Oh, I was way up. It's all good. Started like verse 10 then, bro. Okay. I know you're looking for a good spot, but we'll just get straight to it.
2nd Ezra 14 and 10.
And this here is another indicator that shows that we're at the very end, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't get it after reading this, we don't know what to tell you.
Yep.
Go ahead.
For the world hath lost his youth, and the times begin to wax old.
There we go. The world has lost its youth.
Yep.
As we're going into, we read it earlier in Isaiah 29, going into how the earth is languishing.
Yep.
It ain't in the same strength.
Yep.
You know, again, you go to a pond somewhere in your neighborhood and drink that water and see your outcome afterward, man. Have all type of horrible bacteria in your gut afterwards, man. Fuck around and catch AIDS. You gotta drink bottled water in hopes that it's of a 9.0 pH. And as much as you go to the store and you find that water, well, it does say 8.5, you don't even know if that's the case. You know?
As kids, you know what bottled water was, bro. All we knew was that faucet in your front yard.
Right.
And that water hose.
Yeah, we was kids, we could do that. Yup. Try that now. Absolutely not. You can't even drink out of the faucet right now.
This particular brothers, from time to time I'll do it, but hey, some brothers don't even cook with water from the faucet. They'll just, hey man,
Bottled water.
Yeah, I'm gonna bottle water it up, bro.
Yup. Like it's gonna come down. Lord willing, the Lord got us.
Verse 11, 2nd Ezra 14 and 11. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already.
So this was written roughly around 4th to 5th century BC. And the angel is telling Ezra, look, the earth is divided into 12 parts, and these are going to units of time. All right, each part being likened unto 1,000 years. Okay, so he said the earth is divided into 12 parts, which shows you that the earth is roughly around 12 going on 13,000 years old.
Yep.
All right?
Which also, if I may, and that's why that carbon dating is trash.
Absolutely.
Because it's very inconsistent.
You can't carbon date a million-year-old bone. Bones are biodegradable. Something a lot of people don't really consider. Bones deteriorate at the time.
Making mammoth meatballs.
Yeah, you got it.
2nd Ezra 14 and 11 again. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10 parts of it are gone already.
There you go. So 4th century BC, 5th century BC, he said, look, 10 parts are already passed. He said the earth is divided into 12 parts. Well, 10 of those parts were passed, and that was 2,500 years ago.
It says, and half of a 10th part.
And half of a 10th part, man. So it was already halfway through going into the 11th part.
That's 2,500 years.
This is 2,500 years. So add 2,500 years on top of that into the time that we're in right now. Go ahead.
It says, verse 12, it says, and there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part.
The half of the 10th part. So you only had a half of a 10th part remaining when this was given unto Ezra. 2,500 years later. COVID-19. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, man, make sure you get your water bottle. You know what I'm saying? You know, what's the pH value? What's the pH balance? 2,500 years later, you got you got transgenderism going on. Women walking around like they're the man with this bugged out delusional mindset. Clear indicators to show you that we are in the very end. This scripture right here shows us how close we are to the end. This really opens your eyes up. Okay, you can come closer. What you say, bro?
Actually, I had a guy talking to you earlier about that same scripture.
Okay.
Is that the one where he looks up in the sky and there's like a clock and with 12 parts and 10 of them are gone and half of them?
Well, yeah. He didn't look at a clock.
Kind of like that. But
Yeah, this is the verse.
Yeah.
But he wasn't looking at.
an hour ago.
Yeah, he wasn't looking at a clock, but it's likened unto it. Because again, a clock has 12 parts as well. That's a good point.
Yeah, excellent
You know,
point, brother.
but it's more so going into the life of the earth.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But he's liking it, like you said, like a clock to a degree. You know, because 12 o'clock, obviously, as we know, was the last part of it. Oh, what's up, bro? You know, yeah. So that's the verse though, right there, and that's the spirit. Because that was earlier today.
And that reminds me of the Apocrypha in it. That verse.
That's right. That's what's up. What brought you up here, bro? You been watching videos, or you just
I usually be with Safari, kids Safari, but Watchmen, but I haven't found one today, so
okay?
I'm walking around and I'll see you guys.
Hey, that's the spirit.
That's the spirit, brother.
That's the spirit, bro. Hey, that's so the Lord got us out here Friday afternoons too.
Yeah.
The main, we're GMS, bro. I don't know if you know, we're GMS. Yeah, but the main camp comes out Friday afternoon.
Right.
You know, I'm sorry, Friday evening, excuse me. You know, we're out here Friday afternoon, and Tuesday evening we also have another camp too. But yeah, as you see, we're GMS.
Yeah, same spot.
Same spot. Tuesday night, about 7:30 to about 9 to 9:30. Tonight it's gonna be from about 7 o'clock to about 10 to 10:30. And obviously, as you see out here in the afternoons, we're here from about 12 to 2. You know, but the Spirit had you stumble across us, man. You know, and I know you said the Watchmen for Israel. I don't know if you know about it, but they, Sakari and Watchmen for Israel and us. Well, when it comes to the mark of the beast, Sakari pretty much teach the same thing we do.
Yeah.
But WFI, they don't teach the mark of the beast the same thing that we do. So we always make mention, if you're listening to multiple camps, be aware of these things, because multiple camps teach different things. And John, the Apostle John, goes into the importance and the gravity of the mark of the beast in Revelation 13. So I'm just giving that disclaimer to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's good to, to stick with one group. But the Spirit of the Lord brought you here. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, like, I usually be at the West End. I know Sakari has their camp tomorrow. I usually be at the West End. I didn't see anybody over there. I didn't see
IUIC?
Yeah, that's good. I just pretty much walked around. I just found Main Street. Came down to Main Street, trying to meet somebody.
Look at Jeremiah 5 real quick. Matter of fact, I'll pull it up for the brother, man. Hey, that brother's seeking in the high places, bro.
Toss him my body.
Yeah, I know, right? Thirst. Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
This is Jeremiah chapter 5. Hey, the Spirit of the Lord had you stumble across us.
Right.
But you were searching.
Yep.
This is the book of Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 1. And it says, "Run ye to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, and see now, and know, and seek in the broad places thereof."
Right. And if I may, we're a people before it's a place.
Mm-hmm.
So this is that sanctuary. This is Yasharallah. This is Jerusalem.
So like, I'm sorry, I'm just making sure. And we'll be able to move down just a little bit. It's not too. Oh, that's cool.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's all good. No, it was just a little bit. We kind of get close to the camera without knowing.
On the corner by the sign.
But it says, "If you can find a man, if there be any that executeth judgment, that seeketh the truth, and I will pardon it." So that's an example of it right here. This young man, you literally sought in the broad places. But look, you sought and you found.
Yep.
That's what's up, man. That's beautiful.
That's right.
But I just want to bring that quick precept out going into it. If y'all want, we can jump back to what we was reading, unless obviously if y'all had any points.
That was it on that second Ezra 14. I could grab that second
Second
Ezra
of the 5. We might have to close up a little early too.
Okay.
We'll see.
This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 5, and I'm gonna get to the point, verse 54. It says, "Consider thou therefore also how that ye are less of stature than those that were before you, and so are they that come after you less than ye."
So this is 2,500 years ago.
Yep.
And he's telling Ezra, look, you less of stature than those that was before you.
Yeah.
Because, back then, you can even read it before the flood. The sons of God was likened unto giants.
Yeah.
Now, of course, that just means to be renowned. But Jake,
Yeah.
bro, Jake was big as hell back then too, bro.
Yeah.
Jake was probably 8, 9, maybe 10 feet, and I'm lowballing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we kept referencing those greats like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Jack Johnson, and so forth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, even Esau's, quote unquote science is on point with it too, because he pretty much will tell you that we used to be a lot bigger and we've gotten
Absolutely.
smaller over time.
Yeah.
As the earth is deteriorating under the rulership of Esau Edom, we're deteriorating as well.
Yeah. Imagine one of our forefathers stepping in the time machine and going into right now. And looking at one, they would trip out on what they see. Of experiencing it, and two, like, leave these people little, man.
Yeah.
I think in what is it? 1 Samuel, where it goes into David and Goliath. Or was it 1 Kings?
What was in 1 Samuel going into
Okay,
David and Goliath?
that's right, that's right.
That's in Samuel.
And I think when it goes into the measurement of Goliath's height, it talks about I can't think of the verbiage that it used, but it goes into the length of his forearm.
Well, cubit. Well, yeah, that's what a cubit is.
Cubit. Yeah,
That's what a cubit is.
But when you do it, they go into like the length of his forearm and it's pretty much relating it to his height. And then when you do it, he's pretty much like 15 feet tall.
Yeah.
And then they even have like a staff a staff. What is it? The staff of Goliath.
Yeah,
You seen that?
Man, bro,
the Edomites holding this shit.
We're gonna have to unfortunately end it off, man.
yeah.
It's getting a little big old fat rain coming down. Hey, call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Salaki yards. It started coming down.